All right, Kenman here. And today we're taking a closer look at a Remette that I got from Tristate to check out a while back. Got kind of sidetracked on some other projects. Never really did the actual full in-depth review of these. Had a chance to kind of carry them around, test them out a little bit. So today we're going to get to it. This video was brought to you and sponsored by Remette and Tristate. I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. Okay, yep, so Remette sent these to Tristate. Tristate sent these to me. Here we are. Let's take a look at it. Boom. Bag on the floor. This right here is the Remette Kingfisher. Love it. That's my review. Thank you very much. Have a good day. No. My favorite of the three that I got, really nice action on this thing. Feels great. The Kingfisher. What are we looking at? Well, we have hard film coated M390 blade right there. We have titanium everywhere else, basically. It's kind of it's a frame lock, but it's kind of almost like a bolster lock because it really only opens up right here. There isn't a big piece that kind of goes all the way down. It's kind of this tight, slim little area there, which means you don't really have that pressure issue. I can kind of push my thumb as a lefty against that, as you saw, and it still has got great action. Flipper tab right there. Thumb studs in a kind of a triangle wedge, I guess, if you will. And I would be glad to. Really clean look, the black with that gold. That titanium is really nice looking. Captive pivot on this side, so you just need that tool for the one side. Pocket clip cannot be swapped, so no good on the lefty. Love on that, but I find that, excuse me, as long as the action is nice, if you got a frame lock and you can't do much with it because your thumb's pushing against it as a lefty, or it just sits awkward in your hand and you can't manipulate it as well, then that's something. But in this case, I can manipulate this just fine. It feels great. That lock works really good. Action is fantastic. So I don't mind that clip can't be swapped and it's pretty much a full righty. I can still put this in a pocket and carry it, use it, and enjoy it. I really do actually like this one. I kind of want to keep this one. I am going to be passing these along. I think they're going to Rob's Nerdy Knives. I believe I'm sending them to next. But I have a couple more days here. I wanted to try to get a few more reviews in quick before I sent them out. Here we are. This thing is great though. That lock feels really nice. Action is just clean. I would say one, I don't know, negative if you will, but the blade shape, it's funky. It comes down here and then you've got this little recurve kind of section there. So as far as sharpening goes, that's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. Don't have a whole lot of space right there either. So you can't, it's not really much of a choke up, so that'd be more for sharpening, but then they didn't really give you much. It's going to start to catch that area pretty quick. And it'll be a little weird and awkward for sharpening, but visually I like it. It's got just a really interesting shape and look. The black and the gold is really clean. That drop action feels excellent. All right, so no jimps of any kind, but those studs are wide, so it's got a nice little spot for your thumb to sit. Feels really good. Index finger can get out there. It's got this little relief cut, takes some weight away from that tip. It kind of goes up, almost curves like upward. It's an interesting shape for reaching, for doing some stuff. Pretty much a full-size knife. I can kind of spread out a little bit and still get a little bit of a nub there. This little point right here kind of is, in a way, a hot spot for me. Each person's hand is going to fit on there a little different. Mine, the pinky kind of sits right on that. If it was a little wider out like this and it would be in between, wouldn't bother me as much. But it kind of, you know, someone else's hand might fit right here. It's going to just sit nice. Or someone who's got a slightly larger hand might sit comfortably here. It's not bad. It doesn't bother me that much. But I do notice that little nub right there just sits right in that spot on my pinky. Not really a painful hot spot, but it is definitely there. Blade is very solid, really nice. Detent, pretty strong. I'll try to fail a little push button action. Wow. Yeah, it's, I think it's going to fire out. You can't really, there, that was really slow. And it still made it all the way out. See that? It's like the slow roll flip. So that detent is definitely strong enough. Works good. Blade is centered very nicely. Enjoy these pass around kind of premium unboxings. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you would like to see more. Okay. Let's get a zoom. Try not to get everyone bouncing around all dizzy here. Measurements. We're looking at 8 1/8 if you include that lanyard loop at the very end. Blade is about 3 1/2. You could say a little under or closer to 3 3/4, depending on where you measured it. This section is 2 1/2, and this one is 1 1/4. So 2 or 3 3/4 for the entire cutting surface. Handle is 4 3/4. Pretty close to a full size, not quite full size. This blade looks pretty thin, 11 probably, yeah. 11, and it drops out to 10 out here. It drops getting thinner pretty quick, but you can see that little section right there. The thickest part kind of holds at about 11. Handle is also a little thinner, just under 1/2 inch. Generally, they're mostly about 1/2 inch at this size. Pretty good. Close to full sizer, not too heavy, I bet. Feels pretty good in the hand. And size-wise, like I said, this is going to be a good user, good EDC kind of a, wow, 4.3. It is a heavier one. Compare everything with the Pyrite. Pyrite's 3.67. It is going to be a little bit larger than the Pyrite, but 4.36, it's quite a bit. The Terex, 4.97. I was going to compare it to that. And this Concept Cryo, just under 4. So of all the ones, it's kind of in between there on those larger ones, 4.36. Anybody have some Remettes? Do you have the Kingfisher? What do we think about it? Which one should I check out next? Here's the CJRB Pyrite. Pyrite is the one that I use for comparisons for pretty much everything. It's a good mid, not quite full size button lock, great EDC, real fidgety, fun factor, good size compare device as far as everyone kind of knows about how large it is. A lot of different Pyrites, check them out. Use my affiliate link if you're interested down below. It does help out the channel. Blade is maybe just a little bit shorter. Handle's about 1/2 inch shorter on the Pyrite versus this Kingfisher. So the Kingfisher is kind of a little bit closer to full size, I guess. I grabbed the Concept Cryo. It's a little bit more of a budget version. Kind of reminded me, same kind of style, but instead of over $200, you're looking at around that $50 range. Something that's got something similar. It's got a hole versus the studs, but the feel and the action is kind of the same. The lock kind of has the same kind of feel, but you can buy 4 or 5 of these for the price of one of those. It does have this clean, listen, kind of crisp sound to it. The other one I grabbed was the Civivi Terex. kind of has a fancy look. Size-wise, it's really about the same. Definitely more of a budget-friendly option. Really pretty much about the same size, though. But notice how it's got that same kind of frame lock kind of style, but it's kind of only down in this little section right here. So it has some similarities also with the flipper tab and the studs. But yeah, check out this Remette. Pretty good one. Got a couple more I'm going to look at. Like I said, if you do have some Remettes you think I should check out, comment below. Want to watch a video on this, look at it up there. Pretty fun one. I'm going to do a die on that. I do a lot of custom stuff on the channel. If you're interested, kind of check some of those out. But yeah, the Remette Kingfisher. M390 in titanium. Nice looking knife. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.